All right, welcome back to Dux and Zulfur's chat before the game. So Dux, it's always tradition here where we like to ask you what your predictions are for this particular game in question. Who do you think is going to come out on top, Unity or Vikings? But first, before I hear that, let's hear a little bit about who Vikings are. Dux has a bit of a
So
rundown on that.
Vikings is a Emerald group from basically comprised of B-Way and 1TR. Whereas Unity is mainly made up of Unity, but there's some other nerds from like 53C and some other various Connery groups. I know they did a lot of recruiting in a lot of various discords. So I don't actually know what the full makeup is, but there's a lot of just random people thrown in there.
Yeah, so we've got a bit of a wild card game today. Not excluding our own Connerys, the wild cards. But yeah, we've got a bit of an interesting game today. So with that in mind, Unity has got a few players in that aren't their regular players from their outfit. Unity as a group, absolutely good. They're always formidable opponents to fight, and I know Vikings of Connery also put on a show for people as well. So Dux, what are your predictions?
Um, I hate to be like a little bit stereotypical, but I feel like B-Way or Viking is probably gonna sledge ahead a little bit. I think it's still gonna be fairly close though. I just think that Vikings had a little bit more time to do all the cohesion prep and stuff like that for these sorts of tournaments.
Yeah, I think that I feel that I'm going to put my cards on the same side. I'm going to put it all on that side too. I think it's going to be a close game. I think also this game is going to be probably the closest game of the games we've got on today for Connery. All the other ones, I think the matchups are fairly uneven, and I think this one is the most
Yeah.
even of the other games on Connery, at least today anyway. I know that Emerald games were quite rough earlier as well. We're going to be looking at
I,
openers in just about a minute's time. So we've got about a minute and a half before we do that. We are very, very close to the start of this match. I'm very excited. We're going to get into the cast screen. All right. Wow. So here we are. In Nexus. What a beautiful afternoon we've got on Nexus. We've got a nice daytime biome. 2 minutes left. You'll see on the red team you've got Unity, and the blue team is Vikings of Connery today. We'll probably call them Unity and Vikings for short. We are 2 minutes away from the match start. I am super excited to be here today, and I'm joined by Dux. This is going to be a good game. Saddle yourselves
an
in.
interesting game.
Exactly. Saddle yourselves in for almost the start of round 2 of Connery Outfit Wars 2022. Oh, I'm excited. We've had a little bit of a sneak peek at the openers beforehand. And it's going to be interesting. You guys are going to be shocked a little bit of what you see. All that in about 30 seconds time. Thing to note about Nexus. The neutral bases are all 2-minute 20 caps, as you saw in that previous video. So that means that it's always a big slog for these middle two bases. We've seen lots of teams go for this southern control of SATCOM hub, so it'll be interesting to see what these two teams are going to be fighting over today. I think there's going to be a big contention over SATCOM hub, a big contention over Beta Gorge Garrison. That's what we see a lot of. We're 1 minute out. I can almost show you these openers. Are we ready? I'm going to look at the red team first. Red team in the red corner, we've got Unity. And Unity, they're coming out in full force with Galaxies today. This is going to be very interesting. They have a few Valkyries in the mix. No ground force. We've seen a lot of heavy air openers for this competition so far across all of the servers. They got a little
Those
Stingray
are
in the mix.
those are all rep gals though, so
Yeah.
that's a little interesting. Which means that I think that they're probably gonna be more battle galley than just drop gals.
So we have a
So
full air opener, full Reavers pulled out from Vikings of Connery in the blue corner. This is going to be very interesting. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the middle of the map and we're going to watch Unity come out and engage these Reavers, because we're going to see a big firefight here today. We're 10 seconds out from the start of round 2, Connery 2022 Nexus. We're here to see Unity versus Vikings. They're going to hopefully put on a show for us today. And that is match start. Emra off for this game. Let's see what's going to
as the alert
happen.
starts.
As soon as the alert starts, we have to, famously, it takes about 3 seconds for that barrier to actually go down, and as the barriers have actually gone down now. You don't want to be caught going out. I lied. There is some ground force for Unity. They do have, like, looks like a Prowler going in and a Harasser going into Satcom Hub by the looks of things. But all these galaxies are all grouped together. They're all going to be getting that nanite repair off each other. But looks like the Air Force for Vikings have split up into a couple of places. So some of them have gone to Satcom Hub and some of them are engaging the galaxies over the top of the map. I think they've just realized how many galaxies that Unity has pulled. So we have the tags. Thank you, Dux. You refreshed that, and the tags are showing up now. That's amazing. Dux is going to be co-caster controlling the stats today as well. So we look at the kills so far. 1 kill already for Vikings. There's big numbers so far today. But let's have a look what's happening down on the ground. Is there a base cap started here on Granite Head Reactor? No cap started on Satcom Hub. I lie. Satcom Hub has been started 3 minutes 10 to cap. Vikings of Connery are pulling in a armor column, including some repair sundies, looks like spawn sundies too, and a couple of vanguards into the Satcom Hub, and they have started a fast cap on this base right now. So this 1 minute 51 seconds on Satcom Hub. There's no contention really from Unity. Actually, there is a little bit on the roof. They've just jumped in. A few guys just jumped out to see what they could do, but they're not going to be able to slow that down. Alright, we have cap started on Bitter Gorge Garrison. Looks like 1 to 12 players are there. Not a huge amount of population, but it is going in the favor of Unity getting a fast cap on this base. Satcom Hub will go through first. 1 minute 25 unless Unity does get on point and sort something out here. We're going to go back and check out, see what's happened with this air strategy. Looks like Unity's repulled some mosquitoes to deal with this full air presence, and they still have 3 galaxies in the air right now. Have a look over. They do have a Liberator on Vikings. It is sitting back a little bit, not doing too much to the battlefield because there's no infantry for it to kill yet. I'm just wondering if there is going to be any infantry fights. Looks like Granite Head Reactor is going to be the one that they're going to be scuffling over here.
Yeah, 1 minute left on Bitter Gorge.
1 minute left on Bitter Gorge. Is there anybody contesting it up there?
Does not seem so far.
Vikings of Connery resecure B point on Granite Head Reactor. There's 50-50 pop in this hex. That cap has been started now. Bitter Gorge.
Viking tried to do a Valk drop, it seems, but it looks like they just got kicked off by the Galaxy.
So Granite Head Reactor, not a whole lot happening. Still a lot of battling going on in the air. They're still trying to fight over air superiority. We know air superiority is very important on Nexus, so we're going to see them try to dominate it out, and this air is probably going to go back and forward by the looks of it. Vikings have a substantially bigger number of Reavers up in the air right now than the Mosquitoes, so that's always going to win them there. 10 seconds Satcom Hub to go through. There has been no contention here by Unity. Unity's all in on Bitter Gorge Garrison, and Granite Head Reactor is going in the way of Vikings. So Vikings will take Satcom Hub. That puts them 4-3 on the board. Unity has just dropped in on a Granite Head Reactor, and they're going in full force right now. They're pushing up towards C point. Looks like there's about a squad and a bit's worth of people coming in here. They're running into the triple stack here. B point and C point are flipping. They've done a combined push onto both of them. So this is now going to be going in the favor of Unity. I say combined push. 2 guys went in and cleared B point. 4 guys are correct. Now A point is going in the favor of Unity again. So they're flipping here on Granite Head Reactor. Bitter Gorge Garrison at the same time.
But they go to Unity.
Same time, Bitter Gorge Garrison, Vikings did try to get a few people on here, but they were just a little bit too slow. Unity does maintain control of Bitter Gorge, and that gives them a couple of minutes to actually go all in here on Granite Head Reactor to secure the opener victory here. So we've got 1 point apiece, so it's still 4-4. The neutral base that's left has got 41 seconds, and Granite Head Reactor. Let's see if Vikings are going to contest it here. Unity is contesting Bitter Gorge Garrison. I'll check out Granite Head in just a second.
Viking immediately re-got on the points on Bitter Gorge.
The Viking has taken all 3 points on Bitter Gorge. Unity looks like they're just going to leave this for 2 minutes while they take care of Granite Head Reactors, and maybe a couple of guys to slow it down. 20 seconds to go on Granite Head Reactor. Unity pilot, Viking pilot gets taken out by a Unity infantry player. Here comes a Valkyrie with a couple of drops. There's only 3 who dropped out of that Valkyrie. They're going to quickly get taken out by that Unity infantry in 5 seconds to go. Here comes some more Valkyries. Let's see. Here comes a big drop from Vikings. It's not going to be soon enough, though. And this base will go to Unity. So Unity is 5-4 up on Vikings right now. Vikings have got onto this point just a little bit too slow with these drops. just a little, just a smidge, but they got there, and now they're contending this point. Bittergorge Garrison is also going in the way of Vikings, but I don't know for how long. They did commit quite a few resources to Granite Head Reactor there. Unity has resecured A and B on Bittergorge Garrison, and that timer is going the right way. It doesn't look like there's any Viking players left on that base. Satcom Hub has got a capture on it right now. Unity is flipping all 3 points on Satcom Hub. So that's going to be fast cap.
It's interesting, though, that Unity doesn't have backups set up on hydroponics, though.
Meanwhile, Vikings of Connery are contending here on Granite Head Reactor. Unity is putting up a good defense, getting mowed down as they walk across the bridge here. Vikings have a fairly good line set up surrounding C and B point. One thing to note is A point on this base is underground, so you can come in from a few angles on that too, but it's quite hard to hold because of the way it sits on the low ground.
And Viking just took Granite Head, or is flipping the points of Granite Head again.
The Vikings are doing a good job controlling Granite Head Reactor. Bittergorge Garrison is in control of Unity still. That is going the way of Unity. It looks like we got some forces in Nexus Secure Substation waiting for backcaps. So this is going to be a good game. Already started really good, back and forth. It's what we like to see in an Outfit Wars game, some competitive gameplay. Some air hammers coming in from Unity. Let's have a quick look at some stats, Dux. What have you got for me?
It looks pretty... Oh, actually, never mind. Viking just got a lot more kills in the last couple minutes.
Okay.
It's fairly close, though, still.
121 to 78. Top fraggers are pretty similar. You know, it's still pretty early days in terms of frags, in terms of infantry play.
Pretty close still.
To be expected, as there's been a lot of air contention happening right now. So Unity's back here defending Granite Head Reactor. I'm going to go check out Satcom Hub, because that looks like it's being defended by Vikings. Looks like they're flipping the points here on the space. Looks like I just missed the action on the space. C point flipping back into control of Vikings, as well as A point now too. So Vikings will defend that. What was really a ghost cap on Satcom Hub. So I don't think Unity actually wanted to commit to that base. I think they just wanted to pull some people away from the fight. One thing to note is air superiority has been won by Vikings, but Unity still maintains a small air presence in the form of about 5 mosquitoes. And they're staying at a distance and not engaging anything in the air. That looks like they're staying back and just keeping the air busy so that the guys on the ground can operate air hammer free. And that's a good policy. Unity has now come back here in a big way to Granite Head Reactor, pushing across the bridges. They've already taken A point back. Looks like they're moving into C. Let's see if we can catch some of the infantry action happening here on C point. So C point is still in control of Vikings. B point looks like it was flipping, but now it's not. But Vikings are firmly in control of these points. B point is now flipped. Unity looks like they've taken back B point. They're moving into B point, so they have 2 points going in the right direction, but A point is now flipping back. That's where the action's happening, on A point. Looks like Unity's struggling just to get into the point here. Vikings have got about 4 people on point, and they're just holding on to the few people that are trying to break it into A point right now. Unity severely outpopped here, I will note. They have only 38% of the population on this base right now. They are trying to make a couple of entrances, but Vikings have just got the numbers on them here. So this is going to go back in 28 seconds. Satcom Hub. Oh, we have a backup on Canyon Hold.
Where's the rest of the unit? Oh, they're on Slate Canyon. Okay.
So we have Slate Canyon Hold. Unity's backcapping that base. So that's going to put the pressure on the Vikings to come and get this back now. So they've got 2 minutes 30 to go, and the air hammers are here, and the breaker pods are here doing some work. Solid hold.
I don't see any buses though, or beacons from Unity, so they're kind of just stuck with what's inside.
There's a bus rolling out from Vikings from Slate Canyon. Interesting to see what they're going to do with that. The hold is solid, but it doesn't have any maxes. It could be more people here as well, so I don't know if Unity's fully committing to the hold here. Granite Head Reactor is just being contended, but that's just flipped back to Vikings of Connery. So depending on what happens here, Vikings could either go for the take on Canyon Hold, or they could put the pressure on the back cap, depending on how they want to play this. So So Vikings have taken a little bit of control in this game right now because they hold the most points. So they get a little bit of flexibility on what they want to do, whereas Unity's got to prioritize defenses if they want to make anything happen. Aside from this attack here, so long as they can trade bases, then it'll put them back on the front foot. So it all relies on this hold here in this double stack. However, if we take a look outside, we have a Liberator, we have 2 Liberators, and Vikings just dropped onto the roof with a few guys. They're going to go in here and see if they can take it up. They're running up the staircase inside the building. Unity has been taken out from multiple sides. Looks like Vikings have taken trouble. There's a Max coming in from Unity right now. Max goes down to C4. There's a Soul Spitfire on point. I don't think it's going to last, though. Does do a little bit of damage. Vikings will retake the base here, leaving them in firm control of this game. Unity looks like they do have a bus spawn underneath. Unity's got a bus spawn in this under section of the Slate Canyon hold base.
It looks like Unity just tried to retake Satcom. They're about equal pop, but Viking just knocked them off at one point, although they just took back C point. So, Unity's still sticking around here.
Unity's still sticking around on
Satcom.
Hub. So everything's happening.
They're getting kicked off the point right now.
Everything's happening here on Granite Head Reactor. Vikings are coming out on top with this infantry player right now. There's a harasser that's just joined the party from Vikings to throw some cheese into the mix. So they have resecured this base. So that Sunderer is probably going to go down. That's pretty said and done there for Unity. Now Unity's going to make a play here. There's a window for them to do something. They've bought themselves 1 minute and 51 seconds to take Granite Head Reactor, to take Satcom Hub. Be interesting to see what's happening. Let's see if there's anything dropping in the air right now.
Yeah, Granite Head Reactor, Unity.
Unity's got some Valkyries coming into Granite Head Reactor. A few people drop in right now. Let's see how many of them do make it. They do make it. One doesn't. There's a dead bodies dropping into the point. Looks like a couple of people will make it in there, though. Unity in firm control. They got most of their forces on here, despite not having air control. A good effort from Unity. C-Point's flipping back in the favor of Vikings because they've just dropped a squad on here, and that squad is moving around now, and it's going to go flank around to B-Point. Moving in through double backs on this powerhouse. They're going to meet some stiff resistance in the form of Unity heavy assaults. This is going to take out most of their players. One medic survives, though, so you need to... That one medic's on a slither of health. And here comes the push from Unity to clean this push up. Excellent defense on the back of that triple stack onto B point. Now Unity's got to use this. They're moving out towards C point. They're using the counter assault. There is some Valkyrie with Casses on it. There's a Cass 14 shooting down on this Unity infantry. I don't know if it's going to be enough to stall them, though. Looks like some Viking infantry came out to help with that party.
Yeah.
Resnade comes out from Unity. B point is flipped in favor of Unity. A point's in favor of Unity. There is contention over C point right now. Vikings are holding on. Here comes Unity, though, into the back door. A lot of them get taken out in one go. Resnade comes in here from Unity. Let's see if they can do anything. I don't think it's going to be enough. There's just too many Viking players on that point for them to actually achieve anything there, but they do have 2 points, and that cap is started. A point, as we speak, is being flipped by one player from Vikings. Alright, it's good stuff here. Slate Canyon hold is that being neutralized? Nope, that's just that time was
the UI bug.
UI bug. Okay, that is good. There is some fight happening over Satcom Hub right now. Again, Vikings just in control of the air with this mass amount of Reavers and Cass 14 Valks, and there's even more over here just contending these bases. Air control is quite decent, and they're in control of the game, so they're really controlling the map right now with that air dominance. Game's just told me what an ammo supply tower is. Thank you, game. All right.
Up until like 2 minutes though, yeah, they were equal on vehicle kills. So,
have you?
Oh no, they're getting back equal again.
Let's have a look at those stats on screen.
Just vehicle kills. Viking is still fragging harder, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, 66 to 56. There's only 10 kills in it for vehicle kills right now. So, like, you know, that dominating air is... It's not killing many aircraft. But I imagine if we looked at the infantry kills, we would see what's happening. So
Yeah.
there's almost Vikings have almost double the amount of infantry kills, and that's probably due to air hammers. If you bring up the top weapon stat, you'll see what the top weapon is that people are
Yeah.
killing
And I
people
recognize
with.
some of the names on the Unity board, and those are all infantry players, not air players.
So it would be interesting to see what those top weapons are from both teams right now. I'd say the air hammer's probably a top contender.
Oh, there's actually a button for that. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Airhammer second on Vikings board, and just nothing airs even on Unity's.
Standard stuff, MSWR, Gorsaw. That's standard stuff you see on Heavy Assault. So there's not much happening on that base. Let's have a look if anything. Bitter Gorge Garrison is a cap going on. We're just breaking down some stats where there's a small amount of lull where the teams regroup and decide what they're going to do next. They are on Bitter Gorge Garrison. When I say they, I mean Unity. Not Unity, I mean Vikings are flipping it.
They're
Unity.
also on Nexus Secure Substation. But,
as we speak, there is a
Unity
fight
just
going on
dropped a lot of people there.
Slate Canyon Hold. So as this fight's happening on Slate Canyon, it looks like Unity just got wiped on that. Apologies for missing that. Bitter Gorge Garrison has a back cap started on it, so that took a bit of Unity's focus away from Slate Canyon. But keeping that point in contention is good. It's giving them some time. There's still 28 minutes left to play on the map. Then now there is a back cap on Nexus Secure as well. There's a lot happening right now. We'll do our best to cover with everything. So the back cap has been secured by Unity. It looks like they went in there to defend it. Vikings look like they were just here before trying to take that base. Let's see, keep an eye out for any other fights. I don't think Vikings are going to re-drop here unless they're going to use a Valkyrie or something. I doubt it. So that leaves us with Bitter Gorge Garrison in contention between Unity and Vikings. So Unity is the defending team, the red team. Vikings have control of 2 of the points. B point has just been flipped back to the favor of Unity right now. So there is a slow cap happening on this base. There is lots of air dominance happening from Vikings of Connery. Unity's just putting up with it. And they're doing a good job doing so as well. They're getting people to points even though that they do not have air dominance. And
yeah,
we saw in the stats
I'm
just
seeing
before.
I'm seeing a lot of Valks used by both sides. Like while they were attacking the middle base, like they were simultaneously dropping on top of each other. It's kind of funny.
Lake Canyon's back, being taken by Unity as well. Most of the fight's happening on Bitter Gorge Garrison. Unity has control of it. Not for long though, because Vikings looks like they've just dropped in behind here on B point. Unity infantry is sitting on the outside by a Sunderer. They have a Stealth Sunderer sitting by the tree. And they're going to enter the triple stack from the lower level. Looks like they've just got a few players running up. There's not a super combined push here from Unity, but there isn't many Viking players on the top of the point there, so it's going to be quite an easy clear if they just get 3 or 4 people in. And as I say that, the whole Unity squad is running up the stairs together, and that's going to be an easy win for that Unity squad, and they're going to flip that point back. Looking over what's happening on A point, Unity again is taking control of that point. There is more Unity pop in this hex as we speak, and there is a backup happening on Nexus Secure Substation. Can you go check out what's happening over there for me, Dux?
Yeah. Unity's dropping Valks on the point. Looks like Viking is currently point holding.
So Unity has basically taken control back of that base, and now they're going to defend Nexus Secure Substation, in which Vikings are point holding. So now Unity's cleaned up that cap. Looks they'll probably be on their way over here to Secure Substation, and at the same time try and rekindle that that take on the Slate Canyon hold. Interesting game so far. A bit of imbalance in terms of frags. Top weapons, again, we're looking at air hammers, no surprises there, Gorsaw, MSWR. A little bit of differentiation in frags. They're not a huge number of difference, but there is enough to make a dent. And that's showing with the Vikings being in the lead here, but only just, so it's still a very close game. And kills don't determine the game. Not at all. They certainly help.
Base caps.
It's all about base cap. So kills help us determine who's controlling the game, but who's playing the map better will win the game. Is essentially it's a game of playing timers on Nexus. We've discovered. Now here comes a galaxy drop from Unity. Looks like there's 2 full galaxies dropping in from Unity, and they're saying, no, we are taking this base back, Vikings. This is our base. They're dropping down. going in. All doors are being breached through here. There's a bit of a push here on short staircase. Shield stopping me from getting in. Short push is working. Few people from Vikings going down. Unity doing a good job at trying to get in the short door. Looks like they've pushed through door 1. A couple of people go down. They are holding on to top of the long staircase and the lobby up there, and they're going to collapse down here on point as a team, and here they come as a combined unit, and they will kick Vikings off this point. They did a good job there holding Vikings. Unity did a great job at grouping up, pushing in all those doors and taking that point back. Now we're going to see a little bit of a back and forth. Bitter Gorge Garrison is being contended by Vikings of Connery again. So it's literally Vikings are just hopping back and forward between these two bases right now. We've got a bit of Sunderer, anti-air Sunderer action, I believe. Yeah, bit of anti-air Sunderer action happening. Not sure why you'd need that when you've got air dominance, but, you know, it's worth a shot. So, Slate Canyon, Bitter Gorge Garrison is being taken now by Vikings of Connery. Unity is getting their population back here now. The population is slowly rising from Unity. Vikings have a good hold on 3 of the points here on this base. Nexus Secure will go through to Unity. They have the most pop there. This is going to be the base of contention right now. Vikings secure this. That's going to put them 6-3. So, you lose a base, you lose a point. You take a base, you gain a point. That's how it works. If you look, there's still some pool points to be played. So 172 to 186 are the points, the ladder points, I think they're called, and that determines their place in the ladder if you get matched against the person with an equal win rate, loss rate. Basically, it determines a few things.
If Unity grabbed 1 or 2 more bases, they could probably get more points than Viking. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, they could lose the game, but they could come out on top with more points. So long as they don't get warp gated in the end, which it doesn't look like it's happening. There's 23 minutes left, and it's been a very even fight so far. Vikings have got the edge, though. They do have the edge in this game. They have a little bit more control of the map, and that's really helping them here. But Unity's got some solid plays, and I wouldn't count them out just yet.
I think we might see the warp gate bases touched, but I don't think they're going to end that way.
Unity beacon dropping onto C point on Bitter Gorge Garrison to break this horrible hold. Trying to walk out of the spawn room on this base is an absolute nightmare. Those 2 bridges just funnel your infantry into their heavy assaults, and it's difficult. So Unity beacon dropping on C point, good call. Slow that timer down, make them rotate, give them an opportunity to run from a different angle potentially. Unity's still got 24-48 in that hex right now.
Yeah, it looks like Vikings just trying to ensure that this base cap goes through.
So Vikings have 12-24 in Bitter Gorge, probably 12 in the air, and Unity's got 12-24 on Nexus Secure Substation. It looks like Unity has come back probably for a redeploy back to Bitter Gorge Garrison. There is 24 seconds left on this base. It's going to be very tight if they're going to be able to do anything. Here comes a Valk drop. 1 guy drops out of a Valk, 2 guys drop out the other one. Looks like they're probably trying to get beacons. B point is flipping now. Unity has gotten onto B point. They will make that happen. Will they be able to flip A point? Doesn't look like it. C point, no. 22 seconds though. They bought themselves 10 seconds. Can they get any more forces back here? Looks like the area is just being controlled and just denying any sort of drops.
Viking is just camping any access for Valks from Unity.
Which leaves a really put in a really difficult position if you're Unity, and that base will go to Vikings.
That's a Viking cap.
So that will put the score to 6-3. Vikings on 206 ladder points and Unity 1 at 88. So, you know, that really tells you how close the game was by looking at those points there. And that's how I determine how close the game was when I just look at the stats. So actually, while we say that, there is a beacon down for Unity on C point on Bitter Gorge Garrison, and they're going to deny that back cap by flipping C point.
Unity is also trying to take SATCOM again.
I did see that. They are trying to take SATCOM. That's putting the pressure on Vikings. That's absolutely the correct move. They're also taking Granite Head Reactor. They're starting the cap on all of these bases right now to make Vikings split up, I believe. And that's pretty good call to make because it will stop them going on the offensive. So if you look, 0 max is on the side of Vikings of Connery. 0 max repairs anyway, so that must mean there's no engineers for them. Some Bushido play going on there, of course, from B-Way. But Granite Head's got...
it's not just B-Way, it's Viking.
Vikings were Bushido boys. So, C and B are flipping on Granite Head. Looks like A point is going to flip as well. There's not a lot of players here from Unity. Unity's got more players stacked here on Satcom Hub. Those players on Satcom Hub, Vikings has a lot of players here too. They have more players, in fact. So Unity's actually just holding on to B point with a few players on the top of the space here, trying to deal with these air hammers. And what an absolute nightmare that must be, trying to take the top of the space here. Looking at revives, 46, you know, well, 238 to 148. So Vikings doing less reviving. That's makes sense. They're doing more fragging, and Unity doing more reviving. What you'd expect to see from the game at this point. Some good numbers there. So Vikings have just dropped onto the top of B point on Satcom Hub, and they will be taking that back. Granite Head Reactor looks like it's got full Unity, mostly full Unity force in there, 12 to 24 players at least. So more than the average. But Argent Pass has got the most contention right now, 50-50 pop. Argent Pass is being taken by Vikings, and Unity are trying to take this back. And again, this base has got the two bridges. So this air hammer, this Chaos Valk, sorry, the air hammer's over there, the Chaos Valk's coming in, and it's just doing damage to these Unity guys running out of the point. It's a little bit devastating to see, hard to watch sometimes, but these guys are putting up with it, and kudos to him. This game is still anyone's game. There's 18 minutes left to play. When these bases are such short times, this could still go anyway, unless...
Viking is retaking points on Granite.
The Vikings are retaking points on Granite. Looks like there's a 50-50 fight, slightly in favor of Unity on Argent Pass. Doesn't seem to be like Unity's pushing across as a big combined force, and that may be to do with Casses and air hammers, but I feel like a little bit of more grouping up might help them. Unless that air hammer is just going to clean them up, then unless that's a strategy. So we don't know. Oh, look at that! Some lock-ons going out, hitting that Reaver, making him bounce out of there, saying no thanks. There is a beacon gun down for Unity now. Give him better access to Argent Pass. So just really, Vikings are controlling this portion of the map and this portion of the game because they have taken Granite Head Reactor back. Satcom has been neutralized, and that's put Unity back on the back foot again, unfortunately. But they might bring something out here. Here they come across the bridge. That harasser is just doing in work for Vikings. They're just stopping people coming across that bridge. Force multipliers are just doing the work for them. Have a look what they can pull out here. See if anything can happen for them. There is still 50-50 pop in the Hex. I don't know where the rest of the population's fighting. I'm going to go over to Granite Head Reactor. Looks like a slightly bigger fight happening.
Yeah, it's mostly between Granite and Argent Pass right now.
So Granite Head has got some Unity forces that they do hold a point here. So that it's going to take 3 minutes for... it's going to take them 3 minutes to defend it for Vikings, but Unity... will be more importantly, Unity will be able to come in if they want to and try and take one of these spaces. They do hold 48% of the pop in this Hex, so I'm just interested to see where most of that pop is right now. It's kind of hard to gauge where enemy pop is. There's like a few enemies in each Hex, so there's just lots of little small fights happening right now. Let's see if we can see that fight take up on
They're
Nexus.
pushing Nexus Secure Substation again.
Nexus Secure Substation has a...
It's not a fight yet, but there's some pop from
Argent
Viking.
Argent Pass, big fight. Unity's just making their way into point right now. Looks like I've just caught them at the time they've breached it. Nice play from Unity. It looks like they redeployed everything here, and now they've taken control of the building with 18 seconds to spare. Absolute clutch play from Unity.
That was so close.
Clutch play. They are now controlling this. Harasser's trying to get some action in there. Any decimators for the Harasser? Yeah, that goes down as I say it. Good work from Unity. Alright, now we got a game. Unity's back in control of this. Nexus Secure is in contention. There's not a lot of people over there. We'll keep our eye on that fight to see what happens.
Oh, Unity's getting some people on the base now, though.
Oh, as I say that, Vikings has just pushed back in. That I missed. They pushed back in and wiped that Unity hold up on this point. So easy to miss things in this season. There's just lots happening right now. We've got 15 minutes left to play. Unity's still in this game if they can make something happen in the next 5 minutes. What do you think is going through their head right now? What do you think the players, the Unity to try and do, Ducks, looking as an observer?
Um, uh, it's oh, they're pushing from the bridges or the outside fortress walls right now on Nexus Secure.
I mean, what are the
Unity
most
is.
important bases to secure right now? This one is going to go down. They
Uh,
can't get there in time. Vikings will take that base off them. Unity gets there just a split second too late. They do get taken out in that push though, and that's got to hurt. They're now 7-2, and Unity only holds 2 bases. Nexus Secure is going down. Is there a backcap check happening here on Nexus Alpha? Backcap check.
looks like Viking does have people.
Vikings
Maybe.
have a
Well,
harasser.
said
Sorry,
yeah.
a flash. Here he comes for the backcap on Nexus Alpha. So Nexus Alpha is really interesting because it's got this powerhouse that attaches directly to this weird open point here. Now, in the playtest, these doors had gate shield diffusers on them, which would have made this space a bit more interesting. That point's flipping. Unity is back here, all ready to respond to this backcap. Viking has guys on point. Only 4 or 5 people, though. 2 Unity players is not enough.
Lot.
Here comes Unity. Is 3 more people coming out to try and deal with that. Vikings are rotating to handle that. It looks like Vikings will probably come out on top unless there is a severe skill differential here, but I don't think that's going to happen. Vikings have taken control back now. Grenade goes off. Clutch grenade! But it's not enough to do that. The point's still flipping. Nexus Secure Substation
Yeah,
is...
Viking took it back.
Nexus Secure Substation is still in contention, and Vikings hold on to that point as well. Unity did try to make something happen here by the looks of it, and are trying to make something happen by the looks of it, but they've just got dead people here right now. So they know it's all about that last base, because that's game over if they don't take that back. So the play probably is, if it was me, I'd be sending everyone back here, wipe everything, and then send everyone back to that other base, just to make sure you get both of them, and then come hard on the counter attack and hope that there's enough time that you can take bases. Looks like Unity's doing exactly that. They've got majority of the players back here, coming through all that one door onto the southeast side right now. Check. Flank check didn't pass, but they didn't need it. Yep, Unity did take that back. So they've got that back now. They're going to have to work out if there is any spawn points here from Vikings of Connery. I can't see anything myself. Doesn't look like it. So Unity now has control of this base and bought themselves some time. However, 1 minute and 19 seconds until this base actually goes. There is a galaxy coming out of the warp gate from Unity. I'd imagine that that is going straight towards Nexus Secure. And it looks like it is. Galaxy making its way in. The Reavers haven't noticed it yet. No one's called it out. This is going to make it in time. Here comes a Galaxy drop at the same time from Vikings. The Unity Galaxy doesn't go for the drop because they're getting hit by AA, but the Viking drop got in there to secure this base right at the last second. As the Unity Galaxy was going to drop, he called a no-drop. Here comes a Unity drop.
They're going to get enough pop in this space with this count.
Those air hammers are going to quickly shred those people up. They are making use of the blue team's shield, though. Dropping down on double backs, they're getting smashed to pieces by those heavy assaults and those air hammers. There's just nothing they can do here unless they get more pop back right now. Argent Pass is being flipped by Unity, though, to keep that timer alive off Nexus Alpha, because that'll end the game, and they don't want that. Vikings have hold on. Here comes Unity up into the skinny door. Few people made it in, but not many survived, if any. Actually, one guy's still alive in there. Karakia is there.
Viking cap.
Viking cap goes down to Nexus Secure Substation. Argent Pass is flipping in the favor of Unity, but there isn't a lot of pop there, and Vikings will probably be able to clean it up pretty fast. So, in fact, it's actually all gonna be about this Nexus Alpha base right now. Looks like Vikings are probably going to try to go all in on Nexus Alpha. I can already see a Valkyrie in the air, and that's not going to be for hard for them with their air superiority. As we say that, there is some AA coming out. Skyguard, AA bus, Ranger on the top of a Prowler doing some damage to that air. Valkyrie makes it. 6 guys do drop, and there's already Unity people here defending it. They were prepared for it. There's a few Unity guys on point, but Viking does have control of the point right now, only just. There's 2 players on this point from Vikings, and Unity just needs to push in there and take them out. Here they go. They will do that just as I say it. Unity in control now. Let's have a look at the team's kill breakdown. Let's have a look at the top fraggers from each team.
Second registering. It's still pretty close. Top for Viking has about 10 more though, and their general average is higher.
It's still fairly
It's
even in terms of that.
700, yeah,
But I mean,
780 versus 1150.
yeah, you know, it's not. They're in the ballpark with each other. You know, a couple hundred kills either way is normal depending on who's got control of
Yeah.
what. Unity bus rolling out. They will have secured this Nexus, and they are taking back Nexus Secure Substation and Argent Pass at the same time. Good play here, pushing up from Unity. Looks like Vikings have just resecured that, so we're going to take a look over at Argent Pass. And Vikings have just taken back control of that by the looks of it. Missed that fight just to Unity is... I keep missing these fights because it happens so fast. Unity does what they can to take it here. There is another Valk drop in from Unity. We missed the good part of the fight where they did push as a team, and now they're getting mocked up on the top. So it looks like they're going in all on Nexus Secure Substation by the looks of things. Guy on a back cap protection as well from Unity. Interestingly enough, we got a Banshee Mosquito finally able to breathe from that air. Argent Pass looks like it's going to be the most contention right now. Unity's probably regrouping to sort something out. Here comes a bus from Unity. Cool Kid 69 does get taken out, but there is another bus there, and he's backing right out of there because he's probably just met some stiff heavy assault resistance. He's just getting the hell out of there, saying nope. You want to take those kills off the screen there? Are you ready?
I think there's another caster that's carrying them.
Oh, okay, really?
Yeah.
So another caster's
Yeah,
doing
it's
it.
been like this the entire match.
Oh, has it?
Yeah.
Why is there two people casting the same? Who's also casting this game?
I don't know, but it's fine. It's whatever.
That's fine. We'll work with it. It's cool. There's two people casting the same game. That's why we're having some problems. They're probably going, why the hell are they bringing stats up to? So Vikings secured Argent Pass. Nexus Alpha's back in contention right now. 50-50 pop on this base. Vikings are in control.
Unity just dropped on the roof of the powerhouse at Nexus Secure, but they just got air hammered, so most of them didn't make it inside. Although I think they're retaking the point with another group. Or are they still back capped on Nexus Alpha? That just went through.
They're back capped on Nexus Alpha. There is a group of people who did make it over here, like you say, but they are back capped on Nexus Alpha, so that's not going to do them any good right now. They have a whole squad on there, and Vikings has more players on this base than Unity. So it's a timer race right now. They're going to have to secure this base to actually do anything if they want to stay in this game for the last 7 minutes. And to get a perfect...
I don't even think there's enough time for them to get a majority of bases anymore.
No, so this is probably the score. This is what we're going to see. It's just whether the Vikings are going to hold on and they're going to be able to full cap this round, and there's no points left to play, so warp gating's not going to do anything for Vikings at this point in terms of score. Been a fairly close game. Vikings did take control in that secondary round. We've got some other stats from a different caster on the screen now. If you look at the percentage of kills, fairly even across the board, but lots more air kills obviously from that side of Vikings, and that's really made the difference in this game, that percentage of air kills happening right now. Max kills,
Definitely,
very small on both sides, not a lot of max play, not a huge amount of armor play from either side, fairly balanced on both. So we've got Unity.
Yeah, just the air.
Unity fighting to stay in this game. There is 5 minutes left to play. Vikings will only be able to stay off the point for like a minute. If they want to full cap this round and see it out. So pretty much this game is going to run the full length either way, give or take a minute. Unity has 51% of the pop in this hex. They're trying to make something happen here.
Points flipping.
Points flipping from Unity. Nice play. They got a flank check going. They got a flank from all the angles, and that's the way to take the space. You just enter through every door. One squad through one door. 1, 2, 3, 4 doors. Then the squad through each door, and then you've got that point back. Really nice work from Unity to stay in the game. They've bought themselves some time. There may be some time. I think Nexus Secure is a 3-minute cap, so if they can take this back, they can probably take that point back and get some points back on the board, but aside from that, this game is pretty much said and done. Unity will be fighting to the end, however. It's been a good game. I've definitely enjoyed
Yeah.
casting this game, and you know, looking at the top frags across the board there. The top fraggers are fairly balanced across the board.
That's not top frags, it's spawns.
Is it? It spawns. Oh,
Yeah, that's frags.
okay, that's frags. Okay, there we go. Top spawns.
It is still pretty even.
Still
though.
fairly
It's just,
even, yeah.
Viking has a lot higher of a top tier.
Someone's just playing with the overlay. That's cool. Doesn't matter. We'll deal with it. So, Unity is in control of this. Is Vikings going to try to do anything else right now? I don't know. We'll see if they're going to try to redrop this space, but they've defended it for a minute, so Unity will not be full capped in this game. That is something they can hold their heads high about, that they were not full capped in this game. They're going to hold on to this base. Looks like Vikings making their way up into this powerhouse. Few players in here now, not enough to make much of an impact. Unity is aware of this push, however, so they're not going to make too much headway unless they can rotate more players around. Is Unity planning something here? Looks like they're going to try and push out by the sounds of it, by the looks of it. There's pop dipping from both sides here, so Unity's got one last trick up its sleeve, I think, before the game ends. I like to see teams fighting towards the end, even though it's an inevitable thing here. That score is said and done because it's just not enough time. That's how these things go. We have a winner and a loser. And as the weeks progress, each team gets a more balanced fight. So when you get to week 3, that's a more balanced fight, and then you can really see the top teams from the bottom teams. And then week 4 is your most balanced. So that space will be defended. Is there a back cap happening? Yeah, that point is flipping on Nexus Secure Substation. There is one Unity player.
Enough time though.
Not enough time. It's a 4-minute cap. So Unity going out on the aggressive just to make sure they're not fighting at the last base for it. But that is said and done. We are in the PSB TeamSpeak as well, so anybody after the game, representatives from each group want to come and have a chat, they totally can. We'll be breaking it down a little bit and having a chat to see what they thought of the game. So Unity's taking this back. Not going to be enough time to actually take the base, but being on the offensive's, you know, pretty good. Airhammer coming in the doorway from Rel NC. Love it. So we're just going to watch the last 2 minutes of this game right out. So what did we see? We saw a lot of air dominance from Vikings, and they still continue to hold that air dominance right now. And that really made it difficult for Unity to actually get any forces anywhere without using the spawn rooms. Due to sheer air overpop, it's just the way it works. If you don't have air control, you can't maneuver around. Vikings of Connery have started a cap back on Nexus Alpha. Obviously not going to be enough time to take that back. Unity will come and answer that, and we'll fight it out like this good sportsmen they are. They have recontrolled that. Vikings did not have a very good hold on that base. Unity will easily dismantle that one. Nexus secure being resecured. So I think people are just going to sit it out for last minute. So, what a game. It's actually quite a good game. GG's going out in chat right now. Even though it ended in 8 bases, I still felt like Unity looked very scary to fight against. Yeah, I just felt like it was some map play issues. I don't think the scoreline reflected of how close the game was. If you look at those little points, 277 to 223, that's a much closer reflection of how the encounters were. There's just a little bit better map control and map play from Vikings in this game, and Unity just wasn't able to get out because of that air control, and that's always tough to fight against, especially if you don't have 12 trained pilots who can deal with that sort of engagement. With that said, Unity was able to get a few Valks and a few things out, and actually able to maneuver around windows that they created for themselves. So we'll really ask them about, if we get to speak to someone from Unity, about their air strategy going into it, because they did play an interesting air strategy. We saw Mosquitoes at the beginning of the game, well, even throughout the game, Mosquitoes just sitting back and deterring that air from hitting those ground targets, and I think that's what created those windows of opportunity. It was tight, it was hairy, the game was very close in the beginning. Unity actually won that opening by taking 2 of the 3 neutral bases, and they were controlling that game for a while. Vikings just put the pedal down and came out on top by just controlling the map through air control, and that's that match said and done. Overall, a pretty good game, pretty close game. But yeah, Vikings just had that. Here comes a flash charge at the end from Vikings. Here's a flash. Look at, he's going to take him out. Jack mode. Gonna get taken out by flashes. Oh.
And that's Viking.
That's Viking victory. GG's to Vikings. As I say, we are in the PSB TeamSpeak if you want to come and chat to Dux and I about that game. So that's the game over. We'll wait to see if anybody comes to talk to us. I think I enjoyed that. I thoroughly enjoyed watching that. Was close. The infantry fights were gritty. Unity right to the end. Always good to see. What are your thoughts, Dux?
Kind of what I already said. I felt like Unity was far scarier than that match gave them credit. At least in terms of like the Connery groups that are playing this year. I just think that like you were saying that they got stumped by air control and they just were not able to perform as well as they would have if it was more equal on the combined arms front and map control.
Yeah. So I think I think there's a few good things Unity can take away from that, and they certainly gave Vikings a solid game. We just hopefully wait for any reps who might want to come in. Looks like
that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. I don't know where any of them are from because they don't have tags. We could bring them in one at a time and.
Wait, why is Zulfur there? What?
Well, that's a lot of
Vikings. It's a lot of Vikings.
It's a lot of people coming in. We're gonna have to get everyone to introduce themselves and say where they're from. So, oh my gosh,
we got yelled at by Twitch chat because we said you guys were B-Way and 1TR and accidentally said B-Way more than 1TR, and so now they all get mad at us.
Okay.
I am offended.
So they're equally B-Way and 1TR. Sorry guys. Sorry Twitch.
No, I think it's more 1TR. From what Twitch chat is saying, it sounds like you guys were historically 1TR. Yeah.
Historically, 1TR started it in 2016, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Forget Prey.
Welcome to the room. Congratulations.
And also, we had a lot of prey. It was like
Sorry,
half.
you go ahead, my friend.
It was like 2 quarters 1TR, 1 quarter B-Way, 1 quarter prey, and then some extras.
That answers that question.
Prey Legal would like to remind you we are not associated with the infantry outfit.
Okay, that is good. So who have we got here? Gosh, we've got a lot of people. So we'll go from the top of the list. We'll go. It's like struggling to go. We'll go for the Viking team first. Who are my reps on the Viking team?
Was moved out of your channel.
Let's.
Everyone?
Is everybody
Do we
from
have
the Viking
anyone
team?
from the other
Do we
team?
have any from anyone from Unity here right now?
User joined your channel.
Well, we've gotten a lot of people here. So what we'll do
Correct.
is what I'm going to do is I'll go down the list, and one at a time I'll give you an opportunity to say about what team you're from.
User joined your channel.
We'll just wait for these guys to get in
User
before
joined your
I
channel.
go through that.
User joined your channel. User joined your channel.
Welcome.
Why is there so many people?
I think the whole get the
Why
whole
is there so many
just get the whole
people?
48 people in here. So look, guys,
Strong drink.
what we're gonna
Guys, I'd like to,
Unity's lead.
guys, at least Vanu didn't
I didn't bring
win.
any.
That's all that matters.
Okay, guys, what we'll do is we'll go from the top of the list. I'll get everybody to introduce themselves and what team they're from and what role they played in the
User
match.
left your
You
channel.
have about a minute to talk each because there's a lot of people here. Chippy, you're at the top of the list.
User
Engineer for
joined your
Viking.
channel.
Did good. Less talking, more rating.
Very good. Mr. Albert, where are you from?
I'm from 1TR. I'm here to plunder and shoot air hammers.
Okay, anything else?
No, that's just me.
Brazilian Division Medal. Nice name. Where are you from, man?
This is a medal from Viking, the hard carry for Viking.
The hard carry. What was your role in the game?
The hard carry.
You're just to carry the kills.
Yeah, also known as Brazilian.
And I know I'm going to butcher your name, but
User joined your
Ovi?
channel.
Oive?
Oive
Oive.
would be the correct pronunciation.
Well, I stand
And I
with it.
have a question to ask. Is Connery a strong drink?
Yes. Connery is definitely a strong drink, if there is any. What was your role in the match?
Just following orders.
Okay, very good. That's
Good
what
soldier.
good soldiers follow orders. Captain Cox from 1TR, what was your role in the game?
Platoon lead. I run 1TR, and I'm the Jarl of Vikings.
Yes, very good. We'll come back to you, and
Gangster Viking chief.
we'll circle back to you about strategy in just a bit, but I'll give everyone else an opportunity to speak. Trinity from 1TR as well. If you'd like to say something.
Oh yeah, it's Trinity for 1TR. It's just a bullet sponge.
You're the guy at the front taking the bullets. Medic pick you up constantly. That's your role.
Yep, just distracting them from our better
User joined
players.
your channel.
Cool. Overmug, your mic's muted, but if you want to chat, you can have an opportunity to do so.
Your channel was edited.
Okay. Very good. Well, who's next on the list? Everyone just got moved around. Oh, jeez.
Who's Zerko?
Zerko, there we go. Zerko, where are you from? What was your role?
I'm a Connery native, of course, and exit was good.
That is good. Anything
My
else?
role was to drink.
Your role's to drink. I like that role. Very much. So they'll be having a beer after this for sure. Willow, your mic's muted, but if you'd like to speak, you can go ahead. Okay, we'll come back. Who's next on the list? Nosratu? Is that
User
right? Is that your name?
disconnected
Need
from
more
your
bullet?
channel.
Need more bullet. Where are you from, and what was your role? Okay, we'll move to the next one. Mayo tag. OPS, OFX.
Oh, that's such a
OPS
wonderful pronunciation.
Okay.
So wonderful.
Okay, we'll keep with that one. What's your role? Where are you from?
Oh, I'm 1TR's resident Mayo Clan representative. I led Charlie Squad. Exit was good.
Don't drag anyone else in here. Sorry, guys, but this is the limit because I've got time to. I run on caffeine. Have your airtime.
All right,
User
I'm from
disconnected
Prey.
your
I
channel.
was the flak magnet and AP magnet and more flak magnet.
Dalton Magnet.
I didn't get Dalton this time, term.
Well, that's good that you didn't get Dalton. There's a bit of Liberator play from you guys, Vikings.
User disconnected from
So-
your channel.
It's pretty good stuff. Chocolate Mocha is on mute. If he wants to speak, he can.
Mocha doesn't have a mic.
Okay, very good.
Mocha's put something in your chat, the typey thing.
I'm Prey shooting
Shit.
Airhammer and being a mute. We all, every outfit has their resident mute. Don't you worry, we know that too much. Thanks for joining us here. So we have Heathcliff. Where are you from? What was your role?
I am from Prey, and my whole role was to shoot the Vortec and to ask, what is a peel?
Okay, that's a very good question.
Pretty
funny.
Okay, thanks for that, Heath. Dim, what
That's
was
a pretty funny one.
what
Okay.
was your role? Where are you from, Dim?
I'm from Prey, but they let me do harasser shit.
I did see a lot of
That's
harassers. I think that some harassers did make a few differences in that game. There's another name I'm going to butcher, who's under Dim. I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself.
You don't want to say it?
No, I'm done butchering names, so you can introduce yourself.
Some people prefer to refer to me as Je crois.
Je crois.
That.
Okay,
and
JC.
I have a very important question for you, actually.
Yes.
Oh God.
Have you ever taken a slice of bread?
You can just kick him now.
Just do it.
No.
Jesus Christ. We'll leave that one unanswered. We'll let the audience decide. Renus, is that how you say it? Renus?
Yes.
What was your role? Where are you from, my friend?
Unity, platoon leader, squad leader.
Cool. We'll circle back.
One of the outfit leaders.
We will circle back to you in a second for strategy, as well as Captain Cox for that. Terminator, what was your role? Where are you from?
Hey, I'm Term, Viking, and buddy to Dim and dangerously cheesy. Yeah.
Right. That's good. We love to hear it. None of the Bushido stuff, right?
Love cheesy. Gabagoo.
So, you Madman is next on the list. What was your role in?
I'm mad. I'm an OL for B-Way. I was here just squad leading. Cox said bring the jackhammer, and I said let's do it. Strong drink. What can I say else?
Jackhammer, we love jackhammers. I'm currently farming that for my shiny heavy armor. So Wycliffe Slim, is that right? Wycliffe Slim?
Yeah.
Where were you from?
My job is to wrangle the ball of caps, more commonly known as an air squad, and when required, voluntarily conscript infantry into it.
He's my dad.
Yes, also Heath is my child.
That's really good. Well, nice. Congratulations, I guess. So
no, it's horrible.
Condolences,
condolences. Okay, my condolences.
Yeah,
so
I'm still looking for the pack of cigarettes. Don't tell him that I haven't found them yet.
We're just gonna go back to
Zulfur,
the.
wait.
Yep.
Zulfur, I have a quick question. I'm sorry. Do you prefer
Just kick him.
ladies
Please
or
kick him.
e-girls?
Please kick him.
Bit of both. Tickled my fancy. Anyway, so look, Terminator from Unity, not Terminator Renews, sorry, from Unity, right? Wait.
So yeah.
Mixed up the names of so many people in here. My apologies. Unlucky on that loss. You guys played valiantly, and there was a few moments where you really shined there. Did that opener go to plan for you? Because I noticed you did win those 2 open bases.
The opener was fine. It was actually really complex on our part, and it came out perfectly fine. But that oppressive air presence won the day, regardless of every single tool we threw at it.
What sort of planning goes into your games, your pre-game? So in the week that lead up to the match, what sort of planning does your team go through?
I think it's kind of like the initial, what kind of population do we have? What can we field? That's our primary thing, because fielding the team in the first place is a chore for our community. And then identifying if we have a air corps that we can work with or not, and then the squad leaders and the leadership, and then from there planning the kind of play, either SS style or whatnot behind that. And then the opening bit of it is honestly within 3 minutes. We don't plan past 3 minutes of the
right. Yeah, it's
the match.
3 minutes.
After
it's fluid.
Yeah, after that it's like run your timers on your lane. If we need to do an all call, we'll do an all call, but try to match your population. Unless there's some sort of cheesy meta, right? But
yeah,
that's it. It's kind of like a leadership meeting. What are the current metas? What's the suggestions? What do we have to work with? Okay, this is the best we can do. Are we missing anything? And then we do I drop a rehearsal. We do a really quick brief right before the match starts for the general population. Then we task out individuals with little bits. And then by the time we roll into the match time, we're just staging, and then the squads are ready to go and we launch.
Everybody knows what they're doing when they get on Nexus.
Yeah.
That's what we like to hear. Follow-up question. Obviously, the air game, you obviously didn't have too many pilots show up, or because it made it really difficult for you to move around with Vikings overwhelming air. So what was your strategy to counter that, to try and claw your way back out of that?
The first one was personnel, and there's a lot of crossover in the communities. So we were shooting some of our friends too. And then after that, you're getting the pilots, and we have 1 squad of air that's dedicated, and half of that squad is armor half of the time. So our real air corps was only 6 dudes. When the match started, we had our air lead disconnect and couldn't get back in, and then another airman disconnected, couldn't back in, and then his gunner disconnected, or was not comfortable ESFing, so he went to the ground. So our whole air leadership corps dissolved at the beginning of the match. The initial opening was screened with ESFs from the infantry squads, and then we had 9 repair galaxies that all fielded the meat shield in the front with the supporting ESFs from the squads, and then there's AMAXs dropping out of those 9 repair galaxies. And then we had Striker Valkyries, and then we had our air corps behind that picking targets. And that launch into the owning of the center of the map on our side worked. But then the amount of air that kept coming was too much. Because when we transitioned to the ground, it was untenable to be outside the point, and then getting in there with like half a squad is just not.
Yeah.
It's not good, you know.
Talking of which, that opener did actually work with the Galaxies. It actually had quite a bit of success for you guys to get on point there, so that did work out in your favor. Thank you very much for that, Renus. It's very good of you to play right to the end. You put on a good show. Hopefully you enjoy the cast. Over to Captain Cox. Same question to you. How did that opener go for you? Did it go to plan or not really?
It went to plan in that because most or all of our players are also doing matches on Emerald, like 3 hours right before. So we kind of just roughly adopt various plans from Emerald into a kind of haphazard way because we don't have many certs on these characters.
Right, so it's just sort of watched together from what you can make up.
Yeah,
it's a way of doing it.
Yeah, the one thing was Bitter Gorge did not go to plan. We wanted to steal that, but that didn't obviously didn't pan out.
You guys recovered. You guys took control of the game, sort of the second third of the into the match, and then held control of the rest of the game. And it was said and done. It was just about making sure you were defending and keeping the pressure on Unity at that point. I imagine that's what was going through your mind.
Yeah, basically fixing backcaps and trying to make sure that said backcaps couldn't happen again.
Cool. All right. I think that's we'll call it there because we've had a. Thanks for all the Vikings who showed up for the interview. We had a nice lengthy discussion. That's all from here. If there's anything you guys want to say, go ahead before we go. Get your last words in now.
Solex did nothing wrong.
Okay. All right. Maybe we'll go away from that and we'll call it
Thanks for a good match, Renus. I appreciated it. It was good.
Yeah,
it was good fun.
Good match, Unity.
Yeah, it was nice.
Thank you for casting.
GG Renews.
I appreciate positive members of the community.
Yes.
GG, guys.
GG. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Renus. Thank you, guys.
That's all from me and
It's
Dux.
all about the tech plant, baby.
Check out the games tomorrow from Miller, all the servers, Connery, Emerald, everything. We'll see you next time, guys. Thank you.
Thanks for the cast.
Thank you for casting.